Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today I wanted to make a video about a comment I got on my 2 mil equipment video. Someone asked me, well, they mostly stated is, why didn't you use Gollux scrolls on my ring? And he was talking about my solid ring. He said why didn't I scroll them? Because of the weapon attack I would get from the scrolls. Because if you guys didn't watch that video, I prime scrolled my solid ring, and some people would be like, wait, why would you prime scroll your ring? Why would you go so far to prime scroll your ring? Why would you do that? Or you're missing out on a lot of weapon attack. Isn't attack so much more important than all stat? And that is true for the most part. And the point of this video is kind of to educate and kind of sway people a little bit, because all you hear in the game or in the community sometimes isn't true, and if it is true, it's only half a truth. It's not completely true. And like how I said in my other video, there are multiple ways of doing things, not just one way. If someone tells you one thing, and how most people tell you this is one thing, yeah, that might be a good way to go, but sometimes that's not always the answer. Sometimes it's good to break the mold, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I'm gonna try to make this simple. This is actually very complicated to explain, but I'm gonna try to make it as simple as possible. So when it comes to scrolling and equipment, there are a couple of main components. One of them being the main stats. The other one is the stats you're getting from the scroll themselves, and the stars or the enhancements you get. So if also, most people know what scrolls are, and the base stats are obvious on the actual ring. And this ring, it's 6 all stat and 4 attack. Stars though are enhancements. If you don't know what enhancements are, if you press your inventory button, you can press this button right here, allow enhancements, or you can press O. And what you can do here, you can actually scroll your items, and it'll give you what you want to scroll with, different kinds of attack, things like that. Anyway, that's for a whole nother video. Once you're done scrolling, it gives you a chance to enhance, right? These enhancements will give you a certain amount of stats or attack depending on the kind of item. Alright. To make it simple, I said base stats, scrolls, stat, and then enhancements. So to make this simple, I prime scroll these. And if you want to see the prime scrolls I used on these, they're actually prime scrolls of accessories. So that gives 10 all stat, no attack. So we know that this has 4 slots. 4s were applied, so that's 40 all stat from the ring. I mean from the actual prime scroll themselves. And you want to know how much you're getting from these stars, so it's easy to figure that out by subtracting the 40 you got from the scrolls themselves. So that equals 40. You subtract 6 from base stats, you end up with 34. So you're getting 6 from base stats, 34 from the ring, from the stars, and 40 from the scrolls, equating to 80, which is the final product you get here. So why not weapon attack? Well, I'll give you the reason why. So once you finish scrolling this with the basic Gollux scroll, which looks like this, and if you don't know what a basic Gollux scroll is, it's a scroll you would use on level 20 to 30 Gollux gear accessories, meaning earrings, belts, pendants, and rings, and that's only for cracked and solid. Gives 1 all stat per scroll, 2 attack and weapon attack, magic attack per scroll. So essentially you can only fit 4, so you get 4 all stat but 8 attack and weapon and magic attack, which sounds great, right? You're getting way more attack. You end up with 12 attack compared to my 4 attack, which is crazy, right? But you would end up with a total of 44 all stat. Where I get this number is because you get 4 from the scrolls, 6 from the base stats of the ring, equaling 10 plus 34 from the stars, that is 44. And then 4 from the attack from the base of the ring itself, 8 from the scroll, equaling 12. So 44 all stat, 12 attack when it's finished. So that seems pretty amazing, right? Compared to my 4 attack. Well, very much like a lot of things in this game, a lot of things can actually equal to a lot of other things, like how people would say, well, what's better? How all stat equates a little bit more than regular percent stat. So if you have 8% all stat versus 8% strength, that 8% all stat is more than your 8% strength, because it's also adding to all your stats, even your secondary stat, increasing your range just that much a little bit. So a lot of people would say main stat is more important, but at the same time, you're getting that same from the all stat, but you're getting that little bit extra from the extra all stats you're getting. So in the end, all stat is more, is better than your main stat, if that makes any sense. And it's the same thing with this attack. So how these things can equate to other things, to make it simple, there's a whole equation for this, but for the most part, things that aren't superior items like this, like Nova Capes and Tyrants and things like that, or a weapon, have a weapon multiplier. Things like armor and accessories, for the most part, it's the same. The general rule for these kinds of things is that for each attack, it equates to about 4 all stat, right? I hope I didn't lose you there. So each attack you get from a scroll, or for each attack in general on this item, for example, this ring has 4 attacks. So each one of these attacks equates to 4 all stat. So 4 attack times 4, which is the value of each one of these, is 16 all stat. And you would add that to your to what you would get at the end of your scrolling. For example, this would be 16 plus 80 equaling 96. So what does that matter? Because it will matter in the end, right? So we have already proven that you would get 44 all stat if you basic scroll your ring. So you get 44 all stat, then you would multiply the 8 you're getting from the scrolls. I'm not including the 4 attack from the base, because you get those 4 attack if you prime scroll anyways. So we're gonna exclude those from this math. So 44 all stat, you already have that. So you're getting 8 from the scrolls themselves. So 8 times 4, which 8 scrolls, which is 8 attack from the scrolls, times 4, which is the value of each one of these attack, equals 32, and then you would add 44. So 32 all stat equals 8 attack, or 8 attack equals 32 all stat, plus 44 all stat from the ring, and when you would finish, you would end up with 76 all stat. And you kind of get where I'm going here. So at the end of the day, you would have 76 all stat and 4 weapon attack. Or if you want to make it even more complicated, make that 16 plus your 76. And that equates to less than what you would get from this. I don't really want to do the math right now. It's really late. But pretty much what I'm saying is that if you do all that math, you would end up with 76 all stat on your ring in total value than you would get from the 80 from prime scrolling. And that's pretty much it. Like, it really comes down to what you want to do with this, with some things, right? And the reason I did this is because on a ring, you cannot get percent attack. So I felt if you can't get percent attack, what's the point of wasting the potential you can get from the percent stat you can get from the ring? So I wanted to get the most out of this ring, because people can just easily replace a solid ring. It's not as important as other things, right? So for me, in my mind, it was like, okay, how can I get the most out of this ring? Obviously, I want to get percent main stat or all stat, because that's the best thing I can get on this ring, percent wise. I don't really care about percent meso and things like that. What really mattered to me was not drop rate, was not anything that was percent main stat. And I got 21%, so I was like, how can I make the most out of this ring? Get as much percent all stat as I can, because weapon attack at the end of the day won't really do much for me once I actually add this. The potentials won't be able to get as much from my ring as if I prime scrolled them, like how I did in this. And that's kind of my logic with this. I wanted to make the most out of this ring because, like I said, it's really easily replaceable. And I was like, all right, I got to make a really good ring. So I got 20+% on it. Might as well just prime it to get the most out of it. And I'm pretty happy with my decision. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was very educational, and I hope you guys enjoyed it more than anything else. It makes me happy to educate people and to kind of entertain people and kind of give people a new perspective and change the mold, because there's lots of like MapleStory is a very toxic community, and I hate to say it because not a lot of people are very supportive of each other in this game, and I really wish I wish it really was. So whatever I can share with people and try to be as friendly as possible with anyone and kind of share my insights with anyone, I'm willing to do that. And I hope you guys learned a lot from this, and obviously, like I said, this does not affect everything else, but for the general rule for these kinds of things like accessories and armor, it's 1 attack equates to 4 main stat. Like I said, it doesn't always equate to that, but generally speaking, that's what it is. In this situation, that's what the value is. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. And comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you guys.